Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello, guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. So many politicians, business mongol, philanthropists from the southeast are actually speaking out. And guess what? Most of them are looking at Biafra. Some are looking at restructuring, and others are looking at presidency come 2023. And most of them are out to advise the Southeasterners, the Igbos in general, on how to achieve all of this. Now, when it comes to the area of presidency, there's someone who had decided to come out and give a detailed advice to anyone who is interested, and to the Igbos in general, that if they want to sit in presidency position come 2023, he outlined a lot of things that they must do. And one of them is loving themselves. But before we go on, I would like to encourage you, if you're not subscribed to our channel, kindly hit that subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our video. Now, the person we are talking about is actually Otto Eze. Otto Eze is partly a politician, is also a business mongol, an oil mongol, and also a Nigerian philanthropist. So the news have it that foremost Nigerian philanthropist and oil mongol Prince Otto Eze says Igbos must love themselves and be willing to support each other if they want to be president of Nigeria in 2023. Eze, who spoke to journalists in his country home, Dunu Kofia local government area of Anambra State, said Igbo indigents cannot be president if they continue to dislike and fight each other at every given time. According to his word, he said, we must love ourselves before we can become president of Nigeria. Politicians are causing hatred in Igbo land. They find it difficult to work with each other. Each desires to work for their own selfish interests. Another thing is that we must see a way to work with Northerners. I love Northern leaders, and they love me too. They are very easy to deal with. When I was struggling to be somebody in life, they took me in with trust. Only God can find the kind of Igbo man that had the character to help. Without that kind of character, we cannot unite to become president of Nigeria. That is why the North is succeeding, and we need to liaise with them too to be able to become president in 2023. I didn't know Abubakar Remi or Solomon La when they gave me contracts to equip their state TV. In those days, they not also introduced me into oil business without knowing me or who I was. That is the spirit I want our people to imbibe. Speaking on Anambra governorship election, which is going to come in 2023, Eze said his only interest in who becomes the governor was to find one who had the interest of the state at heart and ready to sacrifice for her. Speaking on the recent argument on the zoning of Anambra governorship position to the south, the businessman said he was more interested in supporting a good man for a governorship position than supporting one for reason of where they hail from, but added that he supports a minority zone more. And according to him, he said, as for zoning, I believe that the people who have not been privileged should be given the chance. Let them have the opportunity, provided that there is a good human being in that area, not a criminal that would deal with people when they acquire power. Any man from the minority who had not gotten that power should be allowed. This is because if you don't do that, God can change. God can change situation anytime. Wow. That is what Otto Eze, oil mongol and also philanthropist, had to say to the Igbos who are earnestly desiring to be, president come 2023. Now, guess what? A lot of people are not really interested in being talking about presidency come 2023. Most believe that they have a cause right now, and it is Biafra. And guess what? That is the reason why things become too difficult. The problem we're having in Southeast right now, based on what this man has said, is the problem of unity of purpose. That's one thing we do not have. Now, for example, look at the Igbos right away, and you will realize that they are divided into different segments. There are some persons who call themselves politicians. Their own is they want to enrich their pocket. They want to increase the sizes of their pocket. Just, this man is not just a 2-year-old man or maybe 20 years old man. Say, well, he doesn't really understand anything. He's lived in this world for quite a long time. This guy, he has lived in this world, and he has related with different classes of people. And guess what he had to say? To a point where he's even pitching his own tent with the northerners, that they are good people. But to some extent, I can also advise him on that area, because the truth of the matter is, why they were that nice was because he wasn't aiming for political power. He wasn't looking out for political power, so nobody was fighting him. It was just business. They know that Igbo guys are fully into business. That's why, they brought him in. But whenever it has to do with power, because the truth of the matter is, power is different from money. Power is power. Power is power. Power has the capacity to control money. Power has the capacity to control any business in the state. So one of the things about the Northerners is, if you're not really, you can't really tell their attitude when it comes to power dissemination. That's power disintegration. You can't tell, because what he's talking about right now, he's focusing on business. They can give you business, because they know that if we give you business and you give us the support of power, we will remote control things and we put things the way they ought to be. We don't have to struggle with you when it comes to business. Just imagine what is going on right now. Katsina doesn't have oil. But we are hearing that there's going to be an automated, very soon they're building an automated place for processing oil there. They're building it. So you begin to think about stuff like that and begin to wonder, why should that be happening? That's because power is in their hands. So you see that power is one thing these guys are so much interested in. Power is power. Ability to speak is also different, But taking into consideration what he has said, I believe that coming together of the Igbos will make them achieve a lot of things. There are sometimes we need to make up our mind, because of what we want to achieve, to bury our personal selfish interests for the sake of our children. Some of them have already outlived their days on earth. So why not just give the required cooperation so that you can achieve what you want to achieve? Everything the man has spelled out to some extent is very, very important, because the truth of the matter is, if you don't love yourself, and it will be very difficult for you to love another person out there. The love must be a genuine kind of love. And then he also talked about the case of having someone who is going to represent the people. And I realized something about this man, political knowledge. He is more interested in the right person. He's not interested in who's going to become, but the right person who is going to be there. The person needs to understand what it means to sacrifice, and not just sacrifice. The person needs to come to an understanding that there is need to be unity, a unifying factor. That's one of the things. We need to have the Igbos. They just need to have one unifying factor, and they just run around that unifying factor. That is what will make whatever they want to achieve to be possible. They need to come to a point where they agree together. Agreement together will help solve these issues. We know that most people can't just stop politicking as per looking at Nigeria as a country. They just can't stop politicking because there's a state that needs a governor, there's a local government that needs a chairman, there is a state that needs a senator and all of that, a lawmaker and all of that. So politicking is a normal thing. There's no way you're going to stop them. But then we need to have a long-term plan, a long-term goal. If everyone wants to go for Biafra, then even as we are still running the show on this other side, still doing the politicking here, we are now trying to build a strong foundation. a structure which is well agreeable by all those who are going to be a part of, this particular thing. Let's stop all these breakages. This is a quarrel with this one fight with this one. Let's kill this person. No, it's going to make it so difficult, because before you know, it's going to subdivide people into different. This one will be running towards presidency, and this one will say, president is not good enough. Let's find a unifying factor that all of us will agree upon and say, this is what we are going to pursue in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years. Let's put all our resources together and see how we can achieve it.